Hi and welcome. My name is Katrina and this is our Vampire the Masquerade stream, The Interludes. Scenes that take place at the end of Season 2 and before Season 3 begins. But currently we are playing a story called The Guest that focuses in on two of my regular players and also our guest, which is very much here and still very much alive, and I don't know what he's doing yet. There might be murder. There might be something else. I do not know. But before we might shed some light on that, as per usual, I would like my lovely players to introduce themselves as well as their characters.
Hi, I'm Marianne. I play Siobhan Price, 10th generation Toreador in Primogen.
Hi, I'm Ty. I'm playing Christopher Masters, a 10th generation Venturian Prince of the City. Though, probably gonna be playing one of his minions, Ghoul Jactinal first.
Indeed.
You playing a ghoul to begin with as well, Marianne? Did you forget your little helper?
Yeah, I did actually. Eve. Yes, I will be doing Eve. No, I won't be doing her. I'll be playing her. Yes.
It's fine, I realize.
Eve!
Like I said, there's no point in naming them.
They're just the blood bags. Yes, and then
Why does mine always have to be blood bags? Be nice.
never.
And I'm Daniel, aka the guest, aka the Prince of Daggers, the Autumn Night, a proper prince.
Compared
Don't
to other
forget
ones.
Jonathan.
Huh?
Don't forget Jonathan.
Jonathan!
Oh yeah, I'm also wearing Jonathan tonight. And
And every
well.
other night.
yes.
Because, you know, he's the suit and he's here for it.
Proper prince? I don't know, you're even allergic to sitting on the throne.
All right. It might be a cat
Cold
fight
irony.
this evening. All right. Murder.
There's tension.
Tension. I love tension. All right, then. Last episode, our vampires, they can't really, they don't do sunlight, I have to say. So, my dear regular players are playing their ghouls. And the prince is him and Jonathan. We're going to start the scene as he enters his quarters, his room, after he had an interesting rendezvous with a certain creature on the rooftop. And we are going to go directly into the scene with said prince in his room.
He walks into the room and looks around for a little while and be like, figure out he knows he needs to eat, should probably get some sleep. And he then looks at the phone and be like, and just walks out and down to reception, because rather that than pick up that thing and yell at it.
And yell at it.
Yeah.
Well, on the way down, you actually hit the elevator. And again, these are these horrible contraptions that you are not terribly comfortable or used to. I'm gonna shove Eve into this scene as she comes around the corner and sees this Jonathan Black staring profusely at the elevator.
He just keeps pushing the button, but a few
Are you
times.
lost, sir? Do you need any more assistance today?
I was just heading down to see if I could order some food. And have it brought to my room.
I'll bring up like a pad again because she's wearing stuff. What would you like, sir? We
Yeah,
have a
whatever
kitchen,
the
you
chef,
know.
whatever the
Excellent.
chef recommends.
Duck, perhaps?
If that's in the season.
Yes.
Also,
So-
would you tell the lady of the house that I need a meeting with her whenever she rises, and
She's quite busy, you know that.
Snap.
and you think I don't have things to do? Meeting somewhere private where she's comfortable, just so nobody else can. It's a private matter of, importance.
Of course.
And then also send a letter to the prince of the city that I need to see him at whatever convenience he has this night. He
It's
wants
almost like
to
you
have
need a
this
goal
meeting.
yourself. Yes.
Well, I don't think, if that's all, I don't think I need. And as he's about to walk out, as the door closes, and he just stands there.
Eve, he's
Yes.
puzzling. But he's foreign.
He is. I mean, after all, he was wearing a vest to the bathhouse, so anything goes with this man.
It's a European thing, you wouldn't understand. Well, it just pushes a few
Don't stop
buttons.
it.
And it
Maybe I'll...
It's a weird exchange between two ghouls.
Yes. Definitely two ghouls.
Well, I don't
Definitely.
think I don't think Eve likes the attention he got last night. So
Yeah, so fuck him.
exactly, fuck him.
Fuck
But
him.
not, though.
Please don't.
Well, then Jonathan, Prince, does he re-enter his suite?
Yeah, he goes back to the room and sort of just opens the windows a bit to let in the sunlight, and I think he's just going to just lay down on the bed and wait until food arrives, and if he falls asleep,
Well, before he does that, I would like him to do a perception awareness.
Alright.
Alright, warm up them dice.
Alright. Warm up them dice. How many do I roll again? I never remember. 2 successes.
As you open up the window and you stare into the cityscape, again,
And the sun.
it's the sun,
The
but
beautiful, delicious sun.
beautiful,
That all
delicious sun.
princes should enjoy.
The city again, it's not a comfortable place, though it has old bones. That pleases you, but your eye catches a slight vibration to your left. Like there's a little flutter.
He looks over and for a moment he's like, is this something bad?
On the window glass itself, you see a beautiful moth, a night moth. Something about it seems familiar.
He opens the window to see what it does.
It's almost like it's shaking off like slumber, or maybe it's sunbathing, but it flies in, swirls around you a couple of times and lands on your shoulder. Again, you feel a weird sensation. Familiarity. Maybe it's a smell or a sensation. It's very unclear. Like almost like a scent of home.
He speaks to it in the old tongue, in the home language, and looks at it and goes like, I don't want to be here more than I have to. I don't want to encroach on territory. I wish no trouble. I will leave when I'm done.
It flutters its wings, almost like it's been listening, paying attention. You see like his very little antennas and his very little head look up at you. It's almost like you feel you have been heard. The message has been received. It's almost like it stretches its wings and it takes flight. Stronger, clear. in a beautiful curvy line, it leaves your room.
Just looks around, closes the window again, and be like, am I actually going insane? Or am I just talking to small things now?
This world and its banality, it does something to you. And this is something you have experienced the years you have been on this plane. You know also your physical self has changed a bit. It's perhaps something the prince doesn't want to think to and hardly too much about. That you are also being imprinted on by this world. And the longer you stay, the more
yeah,
you
it
do
just
so.
keeps it down like, over soon, hopefully soon, really hopefully soon. Everything keeps fucking up.
As he talks to himself, there's a slight knock on the door.
Walks over, opens the door, goes, what? Sort of in the middle of his own headspace.
Room service, sir.
Okay. And he stands there, not quite sure of, because he's not used to this.
You might need to open the door, sir, if you so
Okay.
require your room service.
He opens it, but still stands there.
This is a type servant dressed in kitchen servant clothes. Doesn't matter to the prince. That's why I'm giving a very vague description. But he has a trolley and it's got these metallic domes on it, and there's a pleasant smell coming out of the dome. Not that you necessarily need that type of food. On the other hand, Jonathan is quivering with excitement.
The prince notices the excitement and just lets this person in and waits for him to remove the
It's
metal prison.
the metal prison of food. It's a beautiful seared duck breast with potatoes, a beautiful cherry sauce, and some roasted Brussels sprouts. It's a treat for Jonathan. He's excited. Nom nom. Hungry hippo.
As soon as the other person leaves the room, he goes over and closes the door and locks it. I don't know if this hotel has this little chain or not, but
It probably does. It's vintage.
that or puts a chair in front. Goes over and then starts eating like the potatoes and everything around, everything except the duck.
Oh, Jonathan is. Oh, this is an experience. I'm here for it.
Looks at the duck and just let Jonathan take in the smells, and
He's excited.
then he grabs his own head and sort of pushes back and pushes Jonathan down onto the bed. Prince sort of gets up and stretches and rolls his shoulders and then picks up Jonathan like by the head and puts him in a chair so we can see him as he picks up the duck and just eats it.
There is a slight moan of despair leaving Jonathan's body
Delicious.
as he stares at his tormentor, his keeper.
He eats the entire thing, bones and all. And just...
He whimpers, and when will this be over? And
Oh, that's the one thing we both hope for. It'll be over soon. Which is why I'm gonna miss our little interactions.
he says, I won't. And he sobs the best he can, how little control he has of his body.
He just picks up the body and sort of throws it onto the bed so he can get some sleep until the daylight. And the prince is going to walk around just outside the body for a little while before he goes and sort of more or less just falls back into Jonathan.
The camera's gonna pan out into Christopher's ghoul.
How many infrared cameras do we have with us? He asks the equipment, whoever the guys are in charge of equipment.
For fixtures or for guns, sir?
Fixtures.
We have 5, sir.
Put up 4 around the hotel, and I'll take one in and get them to put it up in the hallway.
Of course, immediately, sir.
Just in case. Just in case. And then he exits the car, he finishes on his pass. Just in case someone tries to leave unseen.
Excellent, sir.
When he walks out, he lets the assault rifle stay in the car. Walks back, grabs a package of one of the cameras, puts it under his arm, and looks both ways before crossing the road and heads into the hotel. He's probably dressed in khaki pants, military boots, and probably like a turtleneck jumper and a windbreaker.
He enters the beautiful foyer. At this moment, Eve is having a slight conversation with Adnan. It's a talk of the changes of the guards, the shift for ghouls, who stays up and who goes to bed. They're just having a side conversation. I think a little bit worried because there's a guest, and there's so many guests, and the protection of the mistress. So I will be Adnan. Marianne will be Eve in this scene.
He'll walk up to reception.
And are you sure, Eve? You have been running on very little sleep.
No, I think it's your turn. Well, maybe wait till she's awake and then maybe you leave. I'll be fine.
And so will I. We can run on steam, as we should.
Yes.
It's. I think it's particularly important that we are alert. She asked me to check some surveillance, and I do not want to put that task in anyone else's hands.
No, I wouldn't bother with it either, but no, stay for now, but I'll do the night so you can rest. Yes.
You are a soldier, dearest Eve. You lead by example.
Kind words, Adnan.
We are in this together. He smiles. But a slight edge of competition as well. On that note, obviously Eve knows this. This is one of Christopher's ghouls.
Yes. Do you want to come into the office?
Sure. He smiles and walks after her.
Adnan nods.
I believe your mistress left a message that we might need to put up some extra security cameras. There's a infrared one in case, a thermographic one in case something manages to turn itself unseen for normal eyes.
Just the one.
Yeah, just the one to put up in the hallway of the guests of Callisto and Mr. Casta.
Oh, so not...
Check them.
No, yes.
Yeah, just like the protection
sorry,
for
but
them.
would you... Okay.
Oh,
I'm just like fiddling with
wait, no,
looking
sorry.
at it.
No, sorry, no, yeah, she's right. I'm sorry, I'm thinking wrong. No, on the new guests, the new guests hall, yeah.
Mr.
Sorry,
Black.
that was me. That was me.
That
was the player. That was not the character.
Oh, dang!
So many guests.
You're leaving Eve without any ammunition.
Yeah, Mr. Black. Yeah, just in case he's more than he looks like. You want me to set it up?
No. It's fine. We have people for that.
Okay.
We will handle it. I don't want you
down.
running around the hotel
looking like
guests.
that. Yeah, looking like he's like a attack.
I'm not saying that.
Squad.
I'm just thinking.
Yeah, but
He writes
Yeah.
something on paper. Here is the frequency it broadcasts on.
I will give this to Adnan.
Excellent.
Anything else you need?
Well, if anything should transpire, you need backup of any kind, or you see someone exiting or leaving.
You
I
seem
think they'll tell you,
worried.
here's my number. You can call us. We're just outside.
This is so
Like
Ian.
that should be all, and you have yourself a nice day. And he gives her a smile, and he gets up. And when he leaves up, you probably notices that, yeah, he's carrying a pistol on the inside his jacket.
I'll do a little. Do I just notice? Yeah, I'll probably just
Yeah.
notice.
I don't think
Yeah,
he's trying to hide that he's packing
No.
it.
Nope.
No.
There's a bedroom.
Yeah.
And,
Look at
no,
me
he
and my
fixes, also
guns.
fixes, and he fixes his windbreak when he walks out. You also see he also got a
Behind.
knife.
Yeah.
Yeah, a
Yeah.
knife stuck.
Combat.
Bowie knife? No.
Oh,
No,
that's a tactical.
Probably a K-bar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, actually no. One of the classical, the ones the SAS uses.
Yeah, the black. Yeah.
Yeah, the black, which is
Yeah,
double-edged.
Yeah.
You use in the Second World.
Dirty
Yeah.
knives.
Eve doesn't know this, but
No, wait, it's a corkscrew. No, it's a tweezer. Hold on. I got a knife in here somewhere.
Dirty move, I'll cut you. Wait, what? With a toothpick? And he gets out, walks out and back into the car to surveillance mode.
and I'll go up to Adnan, give him this, gives the instructions.
And all of that.
I
is
expect
being
him
done.
to fix it.
To fix
Yeah.
it. So then, the Prince of Daggers, does he decide that he also wants to slumber to catch up on some Z's?
Yeah, he doesn't want to, but he needs to, so he's going to.
It's going to be some interesting meets, I'm sure.
Yes.
He needs to rest up.
It's a
Good
tense
sleep.
day.
He needs his beauty sleep. Well, then the golden bitch in the sky is going to glide off into the horizon. And the mistress of the night, the Luna, is peeking her gold of her silver head instead. On that note, little beasties, do your rouse check.
I'll do one extra to try to get rid of.
It's 6,
Some more
right? It's a
damage?
6 and above.
Yeah, you want 6 or
I
more.
got 5, so I'm a little bit hungry.
One success and one not. So he heals some damage, but he also becomes more hungrier.
You
But at
can,
least-
you can move another thumb or another finger or where are we on the scale?
Yeah, how mobile, how badly injured is he now? It's
He walks. You walk, but it's preferable with a cane. 'Cause
yeah.
You can't run. It's slow going, but you can move.
Yeah. The cane here specially ordered.
So he starts his day. He suits up. He still is.
Yeah.
Callisto's taste still lingers, though.
Might become a little hungrier, but still Beast is oddly calm for such a situation.
Oddly so, and there is a calmness to Christopher.
Bliss. Well, he
Enticingly.
sits calmly down and starts the day's work. Loads of business papers to go through, calls to be made, and such on. And he's still awaiting information he's asked for discreetly asked for from Berlin.
From Berlin.
Yeah, and he also tries to get a hold of Kitty Cat again, but I'm assuming that's gonna be
A no. It's going to be a no. The camera's going to pan out into the Y as the mistress of that establishment wakes from her unnatural slumber, and she hears the soft patter of Eve as she makes your evening ready. Good evening, mistress.
You darling.
I hope you've rested well.
Yeah. I'm not going to complain. What about yourself? You do seem a little... No. You've been up long.
No, mistress, it's not a bother and not a problem. There are such important guests, and I feel terribly uncomfortable leaving their needs left to lesser servants. It would not reflect good on this house.
I appreciate it, but I do believe that Adnan would manage on his own. Would he not?
I'm sure. But there are delicate matters that a hostess can serve better than him.
Well, as long as you are, ready and awake enough to serve me tonight, then I don't mind it.
I will always be ready and awake to serve you, mistress.
I'll stroke her cheek as I get up. I kind of extend my hand.
She leans into it. Yeah. She gets you up and she just puts a very beautiful silk robe. There is a message from the guest, Jonathan Black.
Oh.
He wishes to see you as soon as you are available, in a private matter. For a private matter.
How did he seem to you?
He's foreign.
Anything else?
He seems urgent and a little bit lost. I do not trust him, mistress.
No.
If he is a ghoul of a prince, or crown prince, he would be more aware of certain elements. But there is, I don't know, there's danger around him. I do not trust him, mistress.
Of course not. Don't take me for a fool, Eve.
Of course, never. I just gave my opinion as was asked. I would never overstep. I do apologize.
I appreciate your honesty and your perceptiveness. Don't forget that.
Thank you, mistress. Of course.
Can you fetch me my phone, please? And I would really like to know if there is anything from the tapes. If there's any updates from Adnan or anyone else.
Adnan said he would come up as soon as you were available.
Well, send him up and I'll just make a quick phone call and then...
Of course, mistress. Of course. Your phone is delivered. And who are you addressing?
I am calling JJ. Strangely enough. Yeah.
All right. And then you hit Miss Price.
JJ. Good evening.
Good evening, Primogen.
I hope I'm not disturbing you. I know you have lots of important errands running for the prince.
And nothing more important than answering the call of a Primogen, Miss Price.
How kind.
Always.
I do have something that I would like to keep between the two of us for now. I don't want to worry the prince if it's not needed. And I know you can be discreet.
Of course. That I can, Miss Price.
Christopher mentioned that there had been an investigation into Mr. Castor and Callisto. Well, maybe just Castor, but the sect and the affair in Chicago. Where was it?
Yes.
Did they only look into him, or did they look at her as well?
As far as I understood of what I read, she was just mentioned as one of his ghouls, private ghouls. The investigation itself focused primarily on him being kindred.
Well, since I don't have access to any of these, papers or people who actually conducted the investigation, if I did have that, I would maybe see if there was anything more on her. And
You thinking she is more than what she gives out to be?
I think she has a certain effect on all of us. And it might not be as simple as what it seems.
That's disconcerting. I would most definitely look into this.
I would be much appreciative, because that effect is also upon me, and I am worried that it might be upon Christopher as well. So it is for his safety and security that I'm actually calling you about this. But I'm a little afraid that if
That is very disconcerting.
if that what I am worried about is true, I'll just look upon this as a sister being worried about her brother. That's all. It comes from love. And I don't
course it does,
necessarily
and I will heed
think
your
that
word.
he sees it himself. So maybe not bring it up.
I will heed your warning, and I will look into it. I know he has some sort of affection toward Callisto.
Well, she's a beautiful Italian woman. Who wouldn't?
She's still a servant. That's all.
Well, not all views her that way, I'm sure.
That's why now she's interesting. I will definitely look into this. And I thank you for your concern. For him as your friend and as
And I
the prince.
thank you for your discretion, because I'm sure you will use it.
Always. You have an eternal friend in me, Miss Price.
And you and me, JJ. Thank you.
And you. Have a good evening.
Likewise.
The phone is hung up, and on that moment, Adnan walks in and he knocks on the door. Mistress.
Edna, darling, come in, come in.
He sees he has like a CD in his hand that he twirls. He looks odd.
You're all right. I know you are a little late, but I do expect that not to be an issue.
I viewed some of the surveillance of Mr. Black, and I'm not sure what I'm looking at, mistress.
I'll just lead him into one of the rooms with a television. Show me.
He pops in the disc and he fast forwards after a dinner has been served in the room.
In, I'm assuming, the guest room? Yep.
Yeah. Mr. Black. So basically, Shiv is seeing is everything that transpired, but the Prince of Tigers isn't there. So Jonathan's body is moving in a horrific, if you've seen Hereditary, when the body is just being flopped around, it's horrifying, disturbing. All of a sudden, the camera, also, it's like a little bit of static. This is, look at the plate, mistress. You see the duck breast is there. And all of a sudden it's not.
Is there something wrong with this recording?
No, Mistress has been. There's nothing.
Huh.
There's something happened in that room that I cannot explain or rationally account for.
Does it look like there's, like... Does it look like he's being controlled by something that I don't know what is? Or like, does it look like there's someone else there, or does it just looks like what you're describing?
It looks like someone's la 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 la, and then it almost like someone's in and out of a trance. It is bizarre, and they move in a horrendously unnatural fashion. Nightmare fuel if you were human.
So not a ghoul and maybe not human. What are you, Mr. Black?
Eve relayed to me, mistress, that he wishes to see you in private. May I say I am very disconcerted.
I think maybe you will come with me. I don't want you to be there, but if I call your name, I expect you.
Close
Yes.
by. Full security at your beck and call,
then-
mistress.
Well, hopefully this will not be a big thing. But you could probably, yeah. No, let's just say we're extending your shift today.
Of course, mistress, I would expect nothing less. I will arrange the room so it's tightly
I think
secured.
maybe the private lounge would be suited for this.
Excellent,
Yes.
mistress. I'll go and I'll make it ready.
Thank you.
Eve walks past him. Shall I tell him when
And
to come see
If
you,
he
mistress?
goes past me, I'm going to sniff him. I'm a little hungry, so I'm
Oh, he's yum yum yum. But he's not really.
No,
nom,
he's
nom,
not.
nom. But he's. It's like a lukewarm glass of
he's
milk.
like
it'll
once
it'll
in
do the
a-
trick,
once
but
in
it's
a
not
month
what you want.
kind of guy thing,
Yeah.
whatever. But yeah.
No. It's. But actually, the beast says no. You're surprised. The beast. You actually hear a stomping of a foot in the back of your skull. No. It's a little bit unsettling.
I think I'll look to Eve as I see him walk. Yes, where were we, Eve?
Shall I let him know that you will see him in 30 minutes?
Yes. I think that would be fine.
I will come back and dress you, of course.
I might be in need of some research help later on.
Of course.
Yes, I think so.
Of course.
And if anything happens...
She leaves the room. Oh.
You know the protocol.
Of course, mistress. She's wearing a turtle-necked gown in an emerald green velour type dress with long sleeves. Hair is up in a French knot. She always looks impeccable. Mere moments later, their Prince of Daggers, there's a slight knock on your door. You're being stirred out of actually deep sleep, and you were standing in a field in your homeland.
As the knock rouses him, he sort of realizes he's still just fully clothed, lying on top of the bed covers and everything. And almost sort of grabs the back of Jonathan's head and just pushes himself up. Sort of, for a moment, just gets out the worst wrinkles and then just takes off the jacket and throws it away. Goes over and opens the door and looks like he literally just woke up with just total bad head and just like, what?
You see the distaste in Eve's eyes, and she's... The mistress will see you in 30 minutes downstairs in the private... What was it called? The private lounge. Yeah.
I'll be done in 20. And he just closes the door.
Eve. Murder!
Yeah. And he's getting that sense from her, so she's like, well, fuck me, no, fuck you.
No, fuck you.
If you only knew what you were talking to, you wouldn't be talking like this.
She's like, damn you, you insubordinate piece of shit.
Walks into the bathroom and, well, cleans up and halfway waterboards Jonathan while still in him, so it's not comfortable for him either. Just like wet towels or just.
There's something. There's something.
Puts on some new clothing that he hasn't slept in, and after just checking on that, he still has some weapons lying around. And
It does. There's weapons all over the place.
yeah, he'll just be simple. He won't be taking too much, but just the standard amount of.
You need a sticky pokey if something needs to be
sticky
sticky poke.
pokey and a few slashings and
And a stabby.
Yeah, of course. There's just the usual amount.
Usual amount. So, I don't know, around 5-6, you're good.
Yeah. Around 5, and then, a steak or two.
Well, then I'm going to fast forward a little bit as the Prince of Dagger has been shown in to the private lounge, which will be described by Marianne.
Damn it. Yes. It's a very small, intimate club lounge kind of feeling. It's if you've been to like small jazz club, it has that kind of, and it's like actually velvet tapestries, and it's very rich and lavish. It's a small scene with a piano. It's a very small little kind of Art Nouveau style bar, not Art Deco as the rest. It's very intimate, very
Small fireplace. Yeah.
yeah. Does have some lounge chairs as well as bar chairs, but yeah, mostly it's just like could probably fit 25 people, but it's very small.
Intimate.
Yeah. And I think I am sitting in one of the lounge chairs, like
Before
with the
him?
view of the door. Well,
Oh, so-
what?
No, he
Real early.
then you
Didn't he
earlier
say
than
20 minutes and you said 15 minutes for me? Like I was
no
supposed-
30 for you, and he said, "Well, I'll be down in 20."
I thought just okay.
No,
Sorry.
no,
Sorry.
no.
God damn it.
No.
Damn it. Okay,
No,
that's fine. That's
the
fine.
the Prince of Daggers is there before, and will he situate himself in a specific manner?
Yeah, he's going to.
Old cold iron needs to be in the
Yeah,
back.
exactly. He's going to walk around and you said there's a fireplace, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna assume there's like a fire poker and stuff
Oh yes,
over there.
it is. Cold iron.
Probably.
Yeah, I'm just gonna look at that and be like, he wants to take it and hide it, but he can't.
Yeah, you can't touch it. It's
Literally can't go and hide it. So he's going to just situate him like between that and the door, so that anybody coming through and going for such a thing would have to walk past him, and that's it.
10 minutes later, I will let again dearest Mariana as Shiv describe how she is attired as she enters the private lounge, as Adnan shuts the door, but not completely, behind her.
She's wearing a golden crop top with kind of like filigree and like it's burgundy red, and then a very tight pencil skirt but velvet. Yeah. Gold earrings, hair up with my little brush, one of my little numbers, and I don't know, some nice boots. Yeah.
And the Prince of Dagger is wearing
And as I
And as
no, I was just saying as I walk in, Adnan's dogs are coming with me.
it follows, and it's
It's two of them, and so I. Yeah.
Of course you have to. Ah,
Yeah.
that's so John Wick. I love it.
What kind of
Yeah, I'm
dogs
sorry.
are there?
Some
It's the
inspiration. Has to be still.
Malamute, not Malamute,
Can't
Malinois. They're dirty. Bad. The Prince of Daggers, is he dressed impeccably as well?
He literally put on just the first thing he could find because he was like, yeah, need to get dressed, need to put on clean clothing. Jonathan, you smell.
Well, the Queen of Bones only gave you black suits. 'Cause,
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
she's
So
into
he's
black.
just wearing black. One of the many black
Very
suits.
fitting for Mr. Black.
Yes,
Very
exactly.
fitting. And there the scene is set.
I
Good
think
evening.
I'll stop like a meter away from you, meter and a half away from you, and I'll extend my hand towards you, Mr. Black.
He takes it and greets you.
Or you have to get up in order to, whatever, come. Are you courtesing? Are you standing up or are you getting down?
He's
Oh no, he's
standing,
he's standing.
he's
Very low.
standing up. Like when you are, when you get in, he's standing up. He's just been walking around and
Keeping the
pacing
fireplace
the floor.
behind him.
Yeah. And do I get the feeling that, well, obviously she brought the dogs, but her demeanor, does it seem different when she looks at him? Is there anything
Perception,
in her eyes?
perception, empathy.
I guess I'll roll against that.
Yeah. If you want to hide it, it's manipulation, performance, subterfuge.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's so good. I mean, no, I've never tell my rolls.
Okay, I don't
Nah,
even
yeah.
know how fucking hell. Okay, I don't want to roll this.
God.
I don't. No, I don't want to. I can't even say this. Sorry. Oh, fuck. It's very bad. It's very bad. It's very fucking bad. It's very fucking bad. Nice. I don't even know what to do with that. Like, that's...
I assume it didn't go great.
No, it didn't. Actually, we're gonna
Well,
take
it
a break.
went very great, but it didn't.
No, it didn't. It didn't. It really didn't. We're gonna have a break.
Shit.
Because I need to read.
I love it.
Why did I have to do
My
that?
stomach dropped. My stomach dropped.
Well, I rolled 4 successes, so...
Good, you're gonna need it.
Let's just say that I rolled 6
Don't say-
successes plus something
Don't-
else.
Don't say what you did.
Okay.
We're just gonna have a quick break because I need to. I didn't need to.
I'm just getting like sweaty and red and.
All right, on
I
that
need
note,
more
we're gonna have
alcohol.
we need a quick break. Back in a few. Back from the break. I've looked on the rules because it is a role I haven't seen really roll before, so I wanted to make sure we didn't do anything crazy. I was a bit worried it was a messy failure. It was not. We have looked it up. We are sure, but it's such a role that Shiv feels the beast very, very present in the now interactions with the Prince of Daggers in this confined room.
As you've courtesed, you've kind of taken my hand. I have to know if you took my hand standing up, or if you knelt,
he's
like got down on your knees, because it's important. Because I was my hand was very low. So I just need to know what you did.
Oh no, the prince doesn't kneel.
Okay,
He
that's
plays
good.
a lot, but he does not kneel.
So,
But it's,
what,
it's just to be sure, it's in this moment that you were trying to read
Yeah.
me, and this is the moment also I'm trying to.
Yeah.
okay. So what you guys are reading? Because you both can read each other because you're not trying to hide. Or did Mariana? Did she try to hide?
Yes.
Then
That's
it's contest.
the
Then
thing.
it's actually the pit of daggers. You're hitting. You're seeing a visage come up. It's fascinating. You see a very clear block, almost like her cheekbones go a little bit higher. Her pupils go a little bit more focused.
But that tells him things as well.
But no more than that.
No. But he sort of enjoys it, the mystery.
Jonathan, do you love me? And I move closer.
What the hell?
He did not expect
she-
this at all, and he's like,
Huh?
what? What?
Love not. And I'll walk around you. My hand is gliding over like you as I'm going around you.
And as soon as you start going, like walking past me, it just gets like you can feel he tenses up. The man sort of just keeps an eye on you, and if you walk around him, it's okay. It's just like
around, but my hand is on you as I like walk.
Yeah.
So it's just
yeah. And
following.
as long as it's on him, his doesn't do anything. But it's like walk. He's like, does she know? Is she walking towards the iron? They're having two very different moments.
Very.
Okay, I could just give a thought to that. The reason is because Shiv is unsure if the effect of last night was still on him or not. Just to give...
Yeah.
Well, Jonathan, are we friends? Are we not friends? I do hope so.
Well, that all depends on how things go in the next few moments.
Well, Jonathan...
But I do find you fascinating.
And I find you fascinating. So fascinating that... Oh, do not take this the wrong way, but I do need to show a little... Well, to have a little... I need to know that I'm safe around you, or and otherwise. You can check me if you like. I am not wearing any weapons, but Adnan... I call Adnan.
Mistress.
Mr. Black, I do not mean to offend you, but I want to give you 3 options right here. I would very much like for you to show me any weapons you might have on your body, or Adnan here can search you, or you can strip for me. It's up to you, darling. And I'll stretch out my arms and I'll do a little twirl.
There's too little clothing and too tight. There's nothing to be hidden there.
It was like, if there's weaponry here, I can't see it.
then good on you, lady. Good on you. Good job.
Well, there is this face myth, but no, she wouldn't work with this thing. I was like, well, of course I walk around with weapons.
Would you like to show me? Please show me.
And he just starts taking out, first like from the inside of the jacket, 2 quite large knives. Put those down. goes to the back, takes out another, like, some smaller daggers.
I think as you do that, I'll go over and I'll just kind of look at the weapons that you have. Anything that could hurt
Adna
me.
looks at it and looks at, but he's very composed.
Then he sort of just,
Oh no.
and he just takes out the stake. That's and it's just like, and it's
Magnum.
and that is no wait, down into the socks.
And I think I'll take up one of the knives, the other knives. They're beautiful, right? Is it just normal daggers, or is it?
But
what's
not
that?
fade.
No.
It's very functional, good working daggers.
Because this isn't the princess daggers.
No,
These
no,
are
no.
just...
This is what the.
I think I'll play with it. Like I'll take it up and I'll just kind of. What were you supposed to do with these? I'm not into torture play. If that was what you thought. What were you going to do?
I do have different things around the city, and well, I'm not bothered going to the room so much, so I just keep, well, protection, we call it, back home.
Adnan takes the daggers. No, the daggers. He takes the stake.
Stakes,
No,
yes, please.
It's not
only one stake. Only one
Yeah.
stake. Cause...
He looks at the mistress. Do you wish me to stay?
No, I think we'll be fine. But you can give him his playthings afterwards. On his way out.
He takes the knives.
He looks at them and how he handles them and be like, ugh, that's not how you handle a knife.
Oh, he actually takes them quite professionally.
Yeah, well, it's professionally, but it's not. I know he's only human.
Prince
he
of
doesn't have
Daggers.
much time.
Yeah, it's like they will all lose.
I mean, it's decent for a human.
Yeah, decent enough.
He hasn't spent decades upon decades.
Well, Mr. Black, Jonathan, if you were human, I could have snapped your neck in seconds. But I don't think
that would be an
that's
interesting
you.
event.
But I don't think that is you. Not human, not ghoul. What are you? I'll go very, very close, touch his face.
Oh, Jonathan. Yeah. Pretty lady touching me.
So interesting.
This...
It's almost like you're dangerous.
You have no idea. Before I reveal myself, a few things needs to be said. Even though you have been using some of your tricks on me, do not play around. I know you have been using your abilities, your things. But
This speaks again more to what you are, doesn't it? If you were only human, you wouldn't have known that.
if I were only human, I would not have been summoned by the Queen of Bones and tried to be used.
This startles though. Shiv.
No, because
No?
he did say he mentioned her in the bathhouse.
Ah, yes,
So
it
I
is.
think
So-
she knows there's a connection.
Okay, so then that's no
Summons,
surprise.
not so much.
Yep.
She didn't know that.
Yeah, that part he left out.
Yeah.
But that could have been just been called, not summoned.
Yeah.
That it's open for interpretation.
So you work for Queenie, do you?
No, I do not work for that thing. That thing has something I need. That thing plays a game. And it believes that she holds all the cards and all the pieces. But little does she know in how much trouble she really is.
Well, that does sound like her. biting
Now,
off a little bit more than she can chew with you.
You didn't seem too fond, and she seemed to be highly entertained at the gathering when things weren't going quite your way.
That stings, though.
No. Let's just say we are not the bestest of friends.
Which is why I think this can work out.
How so? I mean, I understand that she wanted you to do something with Castor, was it?
You and your prince. And he sort of just looks out towards the city as he says, would you say you are friends? Or cautious allies?
What is that to you?
It's more that to assess the game before I start playing, know the pieces and know the board. Do not willy-nilly throw out things that I think I know.
Well, we were friends. We might be friends. Allies? Yes, let's call us allies.
So, if you were to say, do something or aid at something that would gain him favor, it could gain you favor as well.
Oh, I don't know if I need his favor, but I'm all ears.
There is a thing that needs to be done, and blame to be placed. Now, it has been a little loose about who that blame should be put upon. All that is certain is that blood will be spilled. Not yours, not your prince's.
That's a start. I do admire you, though, thinking you could hurt us.
Oh.
And his sort of demeanor shifts a bit, and he goes from this. He's been polite and been like receiving and all that, and now just he doesn't try to hide anymore. He sort of holds himself with a pride.
But he's still in the Jonathan.
And yeah, and in confidence. You see,
I do
hurting one
like
of
a man
you.
with ego.
This thing had such an ego. It was his downfall. Truly. This thing.
Well,
And so just looks at his finger and sort of half tempted to break one, but that'll be too much.
You need the hands.
Yeah, exactly. He needs it. It doesn't heal as well.
so you have a plan. What does
I have
that
a task
exactly
that
entail?
needs to be done.
For her? And only her?
A task that needs to be done, set between me and her. Though not in the way she thinks, not in the way she expects, not in the way she wants.
Because I am curious why you are talking to me about these plans.
When it all goes down, I will need some assistance, and it would be easier to go to you and speak with you than try to deal with your things. And she just gestures towards the hallway.
My things. Could you
Yes.
be more specific?
Well, there are things need to be done, and a part of that is putting something on one of those shiny discs, and those are
complicated.
And he just looks at with disdain and can't just quite find the word.
Am I reading you correctly? Are you talking about... Do you need to do something for her hair? Is that what you are implying?
It has been asked for it to be done here, but that doesn't... Oh.
And what exactly is it that you're supposed to do here? At my place?
This is a place where an opportunity is presented, though it doesn't need to happen here, but somewhere where it could be, well
I need to
observed.
hear your words. What is it you're supposed to do again? If I'm going to venture forward into anything with you, I need specifics, not
She
mumbling,
doesn't
as you are
seem
doing now.
convinced. So maybe she doesn't understand what you are.
Oh.
Shush, you storyteller.
Oh no, but she's giving sass.
To put it lightly, and he sort of puts his hand like this, and then starts sort of... It looks almost painful the way he pushes. This is mostly theatrical. But he does sort of like make it strain, so it looks to give it a more pressing. And as he pushes, there's something left behind, like just a shadow where his head was. And as he pushes, this shadow grows, and you can see these two bright burning embers of eyes as this shadow sort of just grows. And when it gets to closer to 3 meters, Jonathan just falls to the ground.
If I didn't roll 4 successes, I would be running away, but I'm going to try and hold myself and just look at you, and I'm trying very hard not to give you anything.
But he's lifting up, and he's like almost touching the ceiling, and he's like,
and the color sort of comes in as his form stands there, and this grayish, all with the tints of green to his skin, and these long ears that goes past. And the mouth that just keeps going.
Oh.
And the rows of teeth like a shark.
Not sure.
And he sort of...
And now,
even though still like a little bit hunched, just so his face gets closer. And as he talks, you can sort of... The breath smells of almost like rotting leaves.
The beast inside Shiv is terrified and elated. There's some bizarre beauty in the horrific, but there's also power in this thing. The beast likes powerful things.
You look like something from my childhood books.
Now blood shall be spilled. Something will end. I am the bringer of ends. I am that brings that should rest to its rest, and something shall fall. Now what shall fall is yet to be decided. Though the intended and wished upon target is your other guest, Discaster. I care not for you and your politics of you dead things. But a life shall be taken, even if it's one that is not truly living. And he sort of looks to the dogs and sort of snarls a bit.
And I will actually kneel.
Yeah,
I'm guessing they're just sitting right there.
No, they actually creep back.
Okay.
They're not whimpering, but they are retreating slightly.
I'm kind of.
He's a bit too big of a target.
I'm kind of taking a knee and. Noble sir. Apologies if I offended you. But I do believe that an arrangement, a friendship, would be in the cards?
Working together would make this easier. I have been set up on a task that has been doomed to fail from the start. I have been dealt the worst hand that I could be dealt without seeing it immediately. But I will have my moment. I will have my possessions. And will have my story.
Because he's not asking me to get up, I'm getting up because I rolled it again.
He speaks in a strange manner, but again, the beast finds almost like a poeticness in the way he speaks. Again, you get like there's almost like a weird like childhood feeling when you sat with old tombs, speaking in a different language. Poetry. Old world.
Shiv has been reading a lot of stuff. Can I do some int rolling
Yeah,
to know
do
what I'm like dealing with here?
Your nice neighborhood Spider-Man.
I know.
I'm just gonna get some more
Occult
light on me.
or academics? Can I use academics instead? Just
No.
no. Okay, fine.
The prince is not a nerd.
It's only 2.
It's the way he presents himself and the way he speaks. It's like Fae. But they're not real. They're stories.
Well, before Shiv was a vampire, she thought the vampires were stories.
Yeah,
so maybe her conviction is a little bit different in terms of this. I don't know. Okay.
But then again, he doesn't it's seeing one of them doesn't really do it justice to like the stories. Maybe like they like Tolkien, they're supposed to look that way. It's like when seeing one in true form, it's bizarre.
I feel like I want to paint him. Yeah.
He will not pose like one of your French girls. He will not.
Hey!
But does Shiv understand what he wants? Has he been clear?
I mean, this is twice he's spoken about it. He was a little bit more clear the other time, but now with these words, I think I'm getting the gist of it. Do you want me to roll anything on getting the gist of it? I think Marianne feels that I have enough information to understand this.
Yeah, the prince is putting his intent out, but is careful with his words.
Yeah. And I think that's the thing that I'm thinking about. Do I know that Faye has words?
And I'm not really sure if he's been very super clear about. I'm just gonna adjust my camera a little bit. That the prince is in danger. We'll see if he divulges that.
No, he hasn't quite yet.
No. I would very much like to. If this is piggybacking back on Queenie in any negative way, I wouldn't mind being part of this. I have to admit, it is a little tempting. What you need of me, I am unsure I can give you, because if anything happens here, I hope you can understand, but I would not allow it. Anything to happen to any of my guests, you being one of them. You're under my protection. So if anything is to happen to Darlincaster, it would have to happen elsewhere. But I could help with that, if that was needed. Maybe.
Well, getting him to wherever this would happen would be helpful. Because that I have no sway over. which is where you come in.
Well, we could always get him to give me a little private tour of his exhibition. Perhaps. Or someone else, but there is an exhibition. It's not on anyone's territory, I think.
I care not for your territories and your feuds. What I care of is that as long as someone is taken out while I look like another, my
You can do
end
that.
is upheld.
Interesting. Well, you speak of the prince. What do you want with him?
He is involved as well as this. And there's a pause and a disdain when he sends the word queen.
No love for.
Of bones. Wants this to put him in a negative light, and seeing as she is after him, I am sure that he would be pleased if this went back around on her as well, which is why I have intended talks with him.
I'm so happy that you listened to me last night and this morning. I am so very, very happy that you feel that you can trust us enough with this and include us, because as I am, I'm sure he would be pleased to meet you. And anything that might come out of this towards the Queen, let's just say we have a
Common enemy.
Exactly.
Oh, that's a GM God voice.
Yeah. Sorry, but what she said. I lost my trail of thoughts, so.
Well, you see, revealing myself is also part that, seeing as you are allies, I hope you would speak with him before I meet with him, so I can still outwards present this. And he just gestures to Jonathan on the floor. Horrid back thing that doesn't really hold up. I am sure that he has suspicions and do not trust me.
I would be more
Let
than
him
happy
know
to do
that
so.
we need to talk somewhere where at least nobody else would listen in apart from him and his, as I assume you and yours are. And it just gestures to the room.
Well, I will speak to him and he can decide for himself, but you are fascinating.
The beast likes this thing.
Do you always wear people like that? You are too beautiful to do that.
It has its uses. You see, you can see me, but the humans cannot.
Only if you choose.
But it is fascinating because I could not see you.
Should I wish to do things, to interact, I am not here because I want to. I am here because I have to. He's a necessity. He's a tool. And as he says tool, he looks down and smiles.
I'm curious, though. How can such a powerful being such as yourself be lured into the Queen's beck and calling? I don't understand that. You seem more magnificent
the name
than to do that.
The fucking name.
She has something she shouldn't have. In her possession,
Serena.
something that I need to return. It is with this that she could at all call me. It gives her no true power over me, but it was something she had that I need, something to bargain with.
And this something, is that something you will handle on your own, or is that something you need assistance with?
Should everything be handled well, and I upkeep my part, she should hand it over. Does she not? I will start burning down everything she has. I will take out that little magical puppet she has at her side. I will turn that little lizard into slippers.
Okay, I'm rolling on if I can understand what she's. I have too many successes right now, so. Magical friend, did you say? I'm sorry. Your words are so eloquent and sometimes a little lost on me. Us dead things, you know. Who do you speak of?
The one who has touched the old.
On that note, actually, horribly so on that note, the camera is going to pan out to the prince's estate. But before that, we're going to have a quick break. See you guys in a minute. Bye. Welcome back from the break. I left you as the camera panned out into the master's estate. The prince gets a note delivered from one of his house schools. A certain Jonathan Black requests a meeting.
Interesting. Still no word from Berlin?
Still no word.
Well, of course, I can make arrangements for that this evening. How about... at what time... How late in the evening does he get it? It's like, is it early evening, late
Fairly
evening?
early, yeah.
How about an hour?
The ghouls, shall I call the hotel? And
Yes, call the hotel and have them... either here or there. It's up to him.
A moment later, the ghouls come back. It seems he's not in his suite, sir.
Not in his suite. Okay. Did they know where he was?
He's still in the hotel.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything from a security detail, so he apparently hasn't left, assuming they're doing their job. Strange. Is Siobhan available?
I shall call, sir, if you so like it.
Do that.
The prince calls. Well, that's gonna... At the moment, the camera's gonna split screen. As he says, and she says, Magical markers? What? On the thing the Queen of Bone has. There's a slight knock on the door. The weird tension in the room. The almost a thick with dialogue, scheming, magic is broken for a minute. Then again, Shiv. Jonathan's on the floor. That big thing stands there.
I'll go over to the... Excuse me, just a second. I'll go to the door.
Picks up Jonathan and sort of puts him in a chair nearby. So he just, if somebody gets a glance at him, and he sort of stands just behind him and holding his head, looking like he's sitting upright.
Now you understand, Shiv.
What I saw.
Yeah.
I'll just open the door like a little.
Eve, the prince is calling. I'm sorry to disturb. I would not if the prince was not calling.
No, of course not. I'll take it. I'll just go outside. So I'm leaving you and Jonathan.
Pick up Jonathan and go back into him, and then just look at the dogs wherever they're standing in the room.
They're like in the
But as Jonathan, and sort of just grin.
Slight growl, and they shift. The ghoul on it. Shiv is on the phone. She said Miss Price is on the phone. Alish.
He answers. Siobhan, I'm sorry to disturb you, but one of your guests sent me a message, and I've been trying to contact him, but it seems that he's not in his suite. Have you any idea where Mr. Black is at the moment? And if so, could you relay a message to him?
Now you say Mr. Black, it always feels...
He is, but... Why do you want me to relay a message to him?
Well,
I am not a concierge.
Well, he left a message, sent a message to me that he wanted to meet, but it seems to be impossible to get a hold of.
Yes, I apologize, Christopher, but I am currently in a meeting with him.
Oh, well, I'm so sorry to interrupt.
He did want to arrange a meeting with you, I think.
If it's okay by you, perhaps I should come over and I can meet with him at the Y after you're done with your meeting.
By all means, Christopher, please, come. He's a very interesting individual, creature even.
And something in, well, first of all, having known Shiv as long as he has, there's something in her voice, and also in the words she's using that is a sort of situation where normally he'd run the opposite way. But it's like never ends well when she has in one of those moods, but okay. Right, so you're certain in your case now. You did.
Yes. It is fascinating. I have not met anyone like him before, I think. It's like one of those nightmarish books you read when you were a child. Like Hansel and Gretel. One of those stories, you know?
Flashback to Christopher's childhood and the only thing he read.
Yeah, I think that's why she's saying Hansel and Gretel, because it involved cookies and sweets. Might be a story he had heard.
He was like, I did flashback to him and like with hiding Hustlers magazine in his room. Yeah, I think we read different kinds of stories. I'll be over momentarily then.
But Christopher, I do say this. You are under my protection here. But I'm not sure. Let's just leave your friends outside. Why don't you? Just in case.
Of course.
See you soon, darling.
Bye-bye.
Her voice, though, Christopher. It's the shiv that's tricky.
That's the shiv that's... Not only the shiv that's tricky, that's the shiv that's... If you ever seen a cat with a mouse playing with it, that's sort of the mental state I associate with her when she's in that mood. That's... Yet I'm the one they all fear. I don't understand it. I never will. He selects a somber but expensive suit. Actually, he has black pinstripes. 3-piece
Class.
suit.
Well, JJ is there.
Seems like I'll have to go to the Y for a meeting, JJ.
Of course, Malish.
Will you drive?
I would very much like to accompany you, specifically with the state you're in.
Good. And we will of course have backup outside, so if anything were to happen, I'm sure we would be as well protected as we can be.
Of course.
He grabs his cane and gets up.
She walks with you. How are we liking Mr. Castor and Mr. Callisto so far?
She's interesting. He might be a problem. Not that I think that he will do anything on purpose. But let's just say that if lightning storms was the uttermost of chaos, he'd be the sort of guy standing on top of a hilltop in a rainstorm wearing wet copper armor shouting all the gods are bastards. He looks like the sort of he strikes me as the sort of person that things happen around. You know, the sort of people where everyone else have results, he's the sort of person that ends up with consequences.
I feel there's havoc, chaos, and unorganized disruption for what you want to do with your city that follows his wake, my liege. I understand that this Callisto has an allure.
She has potential answers to something that I need answered. But what I would like to do is, and the reason why I did let them in, it's that fanatics will find a way one way or another. Better to have them in and get them out quick and fast and be done with them than to have them potentially seeking our enemies and use them to gain entrance to the city.
She actually then turns as she's walking out right before you get to the car, and she looks at you very sternly. Christopher Master, you are prince of this city. We are all, when I say all of us, are subjects to your rule.
All in this city, yes.
You are our shepherd, our keeper, our guardian. Your word is law.
I know,
Do not forget that it is law, my liege.
I do not forget that. Which is why I try to make the choices that will result in the least amount of carnage and disruption.
I understand, and please tell me if I overstep my boundaries. As a subordinate, you are not your grandsire.
Oh, I'm very much aware of that.
You cannot always be the diplomat when you are king. Sometimes you must be what he was. He ruled successfully before time took him.
Yes. I agree, there are times when diplomacy no longer needs to be done. But fortunately, we're not at that moment yet. But trust me, when that time comes, I will act. And please, never feel like you cannot say your mind. I am depended upon.
I am a stickler for the rules of our position, my liege. I thrive when I know my part in the mechanics of this society. My job is to protect you, keep you, and do your law and your bidding.
And I am forever humble and grateful, my dear. Now, hopefully, within short time, we will be able to put our plans into motion and to cement more soundly my rule. We need to have that infernal queen handled one way or another.
She would not be a problem. So much so, if the other clans were tightly united around you.
True that. But it looks to me that she is fearful that someone are coming for her. And I cannot for the life of me see who it is.
Let me look into that for you, my liege, she says as she lets you into the car.
Very well, but discreetly. Most discreetly.
As always, my liege. As the sage words of JJ, the ever loyal keeper of the prince, of the lineage, of the bloodline. The camera's going to pan out back as Shiv got a very interesting conversation cut short with the Prince of Daggers.
Hand the phone over to Eve.
Oh, yeah, that's done and dusted as you walk in.
I'll go back in.
You see that when you come back in, that now Jonathan is sitting in a chair, and the chair has sort of been moved just closer to the fireplace.
Dear Mr. Black.
For the reasons is, of course, just to keep
appearances,
so you can't see the irons.
I do apologize. I don't want to keep calling you that. How would you like to be addressed? What is your name?
I am the Prince of Daggers, the Autumn Night. Any of those titles will do. Other titles, well, not sure if... Jonathan surely can't speak them. I'm not sure if you would be able to either.
Oh, I would love to hear that. But no, my prince. Where were we? I was just interrupted, and I do believe that the other prince will be here shortly.
Well, I will stay in this, and it just gestures to Jonathan. At least until he arrives, and going back and forth, there's little
it would take so much out of you. Poor darling.
No, it's just a discomfort of the change, the entering.
Well, the prince does like that she's being much more agreeable now.
Oh yeah,
much less combative and very... You're being titled as what you are.
And it has been so long, and it feels so good.
Yeah, but it's like a fresh little trickle of like a spring in.
Yeah.
when you're parched in the desert, it's...
But it's also that hope, that thing that has been whittling down for so long, and he's a little wary of it, because he's not done yet. And hope is dangerous.
Yeah, very much so. But for Shiv, he left saying that thing, that magical carved thing.
Yeah. As far as I know, Queen of Bones only have 2 companions. Which one were you referring to? The one with the funny ears or the one with the black hair?
Oh, the reptile! Baby girl!
Ah! Nope. She
which
has
one would this
put
be?
the one with the
Black-
long black hair.
Player, the
Long
player
black
don't
hair.
remember
Yeah,
it.
Locke has just pointy ears like you. Not as fancy as you,
No, of
but he's
course
got
not.
pointy.
Yeah.
The other one is carved magically with old magic.
Yes.
I will actually, if you no, you didn't say anything to me, did you?
No, I didn't say
Oh,
anything.
no,
Mainly because
okay.
I didn't remember it. So, and my notes is a mess. So yeah, it's ramblings of a madman.
I love it.
Oh, that pointy-eared thing wished he was special.
Will you excuse me just a second? Eve, I shout.
Mistress!
Would you mind getting me my journal?
Of course.
Thank you.
Then moments later, your journal is given.
I open it up for the page where I have drawn them,
The carving.
the carvings, and I'm just like showing it to you. These ones, was it?
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's old world magic.
It seems that the Queen of Bones is not the only one meddling with things she shouldn't. Her company as well.
Is this your language?
It's adjacent to. It's too crude for you, but you know it.
I do like.
It's a peasant's magic.
No, me and mine are much more elegant than that, but there is something that is from beyond.
Would you?
Something that he possibly couldn't understand, and the fact that he's been touched by it and is still, well, so human looking is
Bizarre.
interesting.
You should be more changed.
You don't know what they say, do you? I love languages. And I like calligraphy, so I'm
gonna give it to him,
curious to what this.
and he can choose if he wants to give it. It's vessel, chalice.
Well,
Like something could be poured into him now.
yeah. Well, there is.
But before he answers, I would like him to do wits awareness on her, or you have to negate it because you're asking so specifically. I'm gonna give him a
I
leg
know.
up.
Can I when I say that then have used? No, I can't do backwards like persuasion.
Nope.
Kind of. No.
Nope.
So I can
Nope.
only do. What do you want me to roll on then? Sorry.
You can roll to see if he's checking you. And
So
then you can
insight.
yeah,
or
yeah, and then you
awareness?
can and then you can lie
Insight.
after the fact because you're being very eager.
Yeah. 3.
Oh, I can already tell without that she's being very eager. She wants.
Yes.
And if
Never.
you want something, that means I have something to use.
Yes.
Yeah, that's pretty decent. That is 4 successes. One of them's a 10.
Yeah.
I have 3, so I.
No.
matter.
You actually see how she shifts and how she moves and how she. This is not just interesting; it's important.
Yeah.
A card has been shown.
Yeah. I'm sure if I sat down and took some time, I could figure it out, but it's a little cruder than what I would use, but when we have figured out everything else that needs to be figured out, and if I have some time, I can look at it, if you would like.
Yes. That would be helpful, I think.
The old ways, they interest you.
They do.
They truly
absolutely.
old ways.
I love reading. I like beautiful things, as I'm sure you've seen throughout the. I'm a bit of an artist myself, and language is, well, the written word, it's kind of beautiful in its own way, don't you think?
The written word can bring beauty, the spoken brings meaning.
Spoken like a true poet. There's more to you than the eye sees.
Oh, the flattery the prince receives. As another prince arrives.
Kicks in the door. No.
Hello.
As he arrives at the hotel, he lets himself be known at the reception, so they can send a word if they need be to Siobhan, and he'll wait in the.
I think
there's a little bar at the side.
The lounge is on the ground floor. It's just further in.
Yeah, so he's
So
going to the
it's-
lounge and wait there. After he made it announced himself at the reception, so that.
Well, Eve gracefully greeted you. And she comes and again knock on the door. The prince is here, mistress. Do you wish to receive him in your private quarters or here?
Well, it's not me he wants to see. It's our guest. So no, show him here.
JJ walks in with it. Shall I go with you, Malish?
No, you can wait outside if it's okay, JJ. In case the guest, Mr. Black, might feel a little shy about talking in company with others.
Of course.
And then he walks in. And
Mr.
walks straight into the
Darling.
atmosphere in the room, which probably feels like walking into a frying pan.
But as you do, I think I'm very alert to that you are coming. So I will go
But
towards you and I will.
The
your
atmosphere.
cheeks.
Dog's almost crawling out.
Yeah, they walk out.
Yeah.
We're down in there. Yes, hello, Adnan. Yes, master. Let's go to you. But the atmosphere, you don't even have to roll on it, is thick with unspoken words and innuendos.
So much tension.
Very much so.
So few buttons.
Never when Shiv's around.
It's. You're not sure if it's like if it's dangerous or the complete opposite. It's a bizarre sensation. She was like a Cheshire cat. She is all smirks.
He gives a courteous bow. Good evening, Shiv. uses of.
I will go very
Primogen.
over and I will kiss you. Not on lips, but
And he kisses back on the back on each cheek, and then he'll turn and he'll
This is my
salute
brother.
the other person in the room, and he'll bow even deeper.
Oh, the prince likes this.
The prince bows back, not as deep as though the first time they met, because then he was pretending to be something else.
I received your note and came as soon as I could. I hope I do not interrupt.
No, that was actually very good timing. We have something we should discuss. You have interesting enemies.
Oh yes, unfortunately it comes with the territory and the job.
I know so well.
Does Shiv being asked to leave, or does she stay?
Actually, I'm not going to ask her to leave. It's her place, it's her domain. That would be rude.
Yeah.
So I'll let the third party initiate any sort of deciding.
Did you want privacy or?
It'll be easier
do
to
not-
have this discussion once instead of having it several times, so you might as well stay. If
Yeah,
you wish
because
to
if
leave, you
not-
may do so.
Well, the only thing that I need, in short, is that the Y is off limits to whatever is going to happen.
Christopher, you're very confused.
He's
But I'm
he's
also-
like, he's confused, but when she's saying like off limits, what's going to happen? That means it's whatever it is. It's not going to be good. So okay, we're there. Something not good is going on. So he'll just give a little nod to that, like.
Because I'll just say this, and this is the storyteller giving you a little bit of feedback to your characters in this situation. For Shiv, the prince has now hinted more than alluded that he knows stuff that you want.
Yes.
But he's also said whatever he's doing directly relates to guests in your house. To be benched now would be poor.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
being in the room would be beneficial.
I want to be here. I just don't want to be rude to a potential very powerful creature I don't know or understand. So I'm trying to.
The general personal guideline of Shiv not to piss off the 3 meter tall knife wielding maniac.
You have anyone?
Bob's
It's
your
the
goal.
personal guideline of mine.
And he was never searched, so he might have given all his knives. Might have.
You never know.
Oh fuck!
Yeah, he just gave his knives and he took them and was like, okay, that's good.
But on that little note,
Trust.
I see I'm a little bit orange. We need to color change me. So we're just gonna have a quick break to fix this. We're back in a few. Welcome back from the break. I hope I am not as orange as I was moments ago. But there we are.
I'll just add a orange to compare on post. It's fine.
Am I Trump orange or am I... What kind of orange are we? You
Oh,
never
look at
know.
that! It's like an orange on a toothpick.
I am Peach.
Still
The orangey.
beautiful.
Oh, thank you, my dear. So are you. Well, there you are. One fae. 2 vampires. It's almost like a joke. Stuck in a lounge.
Yes. There is a bar there.
Let's see what happens. Straight into the scene.
But I would prefer to stay.
Then you may
Because I do
so.
feel I have some stake in this. And I'll go
Which is
over and
why-
sit.
Which is why it would be good for you to sit here and at least be part of this and hear this conversation, so we don't have to relay it again. Prince. You have someone who wishes to hold something over you, to hold some power over you. And they messed up by calling in me.
Oh, well, yeah, sure. I assume there's more than one, but can I roll and... What the hell is the guess?
He's talking about Queenie, Christopher.
Yeah, doesn't
that one.
really surprise me that much. She was a bit too friendly. And he uses the word, like when he says the word friendly, it's like dripping with...
Snarling.
It's the same way
disgust.
Jonathan says queen. Well, she has something that I need, so a bargain has been struck. Though she was not careful when striking the bargain.
Ah. Left it a bit loose, did she?
God damn it.
As I said earlier, Annie sort of just looks over to Shiv and be like, the spoken word does hold the meaning. The written not so much. You see, she wishes for you to commit a murder, a most gruesome one, and to hold that over you.
Ah.
It does seem like her.
But for Christopher's sake, this is still a ghoul talking.
Actually,
Oh,
no, he sort of knows that he's not. Because
Yeah.
first of all, she said that there was something
He wasn't a ghoul.
strange.
Yeah,
with him.
yeah.
And then
But
she
he
said
doesn't know
was
what it
saying-
is.
No, but there's some like the demeanor he's showing now is completely
Very different, very different, very
different
different, very
than
different.
when he first met him.
Yeah.
Something is there's some sort of his little survival instinct deep down in Chris that says, "Don't poke the bear. Be polite. Don't poke the bear."
I'm sure the dogs crawled out because they were hungry. I mean,
Yeah. That particular trick, well, it has been utilized with success in this city before.
no. It's a little open on exactly who needs to die and whom that shall do the deed. Though her wishes was that this caster fellow that is a guest here, and again just looks over it.
And I will study Christopher as he speaks.
And it was to be done in your visage. Now I care not for your politics. I care not for what goes on in this little place in this world. But I do want what is owed me. So I shall hold my end of the bargain as I agreed to it.
You remember the two we fought in her hands.
But she she did not behave with honor or respect in forming this agreement with you, did she? She exerted her will and thought that her word would mean that everyone else should do as she says.
She thinks she is old. She thinks she holds the cards. She believes she's in control.
As they're speaking, I'm going to take out my pen and I'm going to sketch.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sketch Jonathan?
You don't know?
I am most thankful for you to telling me this, but before we go on, may I please beg of you? I'm assuming that Black is not your right name, and it would feel disrespectful for me to keep calling you that. No, I do not ask to know your true name. That is your business and your business alone, but I am sure there must be some title that would be better suited to a man of such standing as you clearly are.
He just gives a glance at the door like, well, I thought it would be a little uneasy to open the conversation like this, and again he just grabs his head and starts dragging it.
And I'm just like looking at these two and smiling.
Can I make a composure resolve roll?
Yep. It is something.
Again, the shadow rises and the embers are the only thing of color that glows as they keep rising up. Until Jonathan hits the floor.
He gets 4 successes, so he manages to relatively appear composed, but it's clear that he puckers up.
But again, also your beast is... Oh, this could be useful. The beast growls as he paces in the back of your skull.
Very useful. And then the resolve and intelligence that is helping so many times says, yes, but take a look at the queen now when she tried to look at it as merely a resource. Doesn't seem to bode well for her, nor does it?
No.
So behave!
Clap back.
Back in your cage where you belong.
Thank God you've had a little bit of that Callisto magic blood in you.
Oh yeah, it felt. We need to keep her around for that. She's useful for that.
Yeah, and only that.
That and some light snacking under the moonlight.
But there he stands. Glowing eyes, the whole visage of him with the hood and the ears. It looks, it's like staring into a world that doesn't exist.
Does it look like anything he was seen before? Does it remind him of anything at all?
Did you ever see the little mad thing?
Yeah, the little man came and talked to him and talked about the story when he was in the car. I think actually I think it's Chris and Sean are the only two that actually matter. I'm not sure. I don't think Shiv saw the little.
There's anything,
I botched the roll.
Yeah,
so no.
if there's anything that you can draw links to, it's the way that little mad thing, or the little thing. It's not even. It's like it's a teaspoon compared to this creature.
That looks more like if this one could be this one's pet.
Yeah.
Like if this
had a servant.
Had something.
Yeah.
But I have no idea what it was though.
No, and you don't know what this is.
No. It's definitely something you don't want to be on the wrong side of though.
He leans down to pick up Jonathan, but he doesn't have to lean too far due to his long arms.
His arms are very
sort of picks it up, but carefully with his sharp fingers, and just places him in a chair.
I am honored that you would show your true visits to me. I am humbled.
It gives it a bit more sincerity.
And it even more clearly shows to me the arrogance of the Queen to think that she could just wave her hand and treat a man of such clear power as you in such a manner.
He gets like a little, but also wary of the roof, because just so he doesn't. But it does
We're probably
feel
lucky that
good that people talk to him like
Christopher.
this.
You flatter.
It feels ages since someone have titled you in this way. It's been ages since you have been you in this way.
He gives Siobhan a little nod, and also a little look that Shiv probably knows him so well as well. In situations like this, it's better to flatter than to insult. Also, personal guideline.
So, what needs to happen is that somebody needs to die by the hands of another.
And another is still you, right?
She did not even specify the name of the person in the contract.
Oh, she did, but I did not. She uttered her wishes, and I said what I would do. And then it was agreed upon.
Clever, clever.
Silly of her. So
How
someone
did
must die.
she?
That's clear for you to fulfill the bargain that will make sure that you receive that which you talked about. Interesting, but it can be anyone.
She wished that it was Caster killed by you, and that they were brought evidence on the small
Metal
round
thing.
thing. Yes.
Oh, was that what you refer? I'm sorry, I didn't.
Christopher just thinks she must really been offended, or really thought that I was coming after her.
Or you were just too annoying.
No. It could still be made to look partly as you did it, though it could also look, well, if someone else turned to you to do so.
Ooh, I like that thought. And then I'm assuming that you were to provide some sort of evidence for her, a recording or something like that, perhaps to implicate me.
Yes, exactly.
Maybe
The
she
disc
should.
needs to witness it somehow.
This thing is a witness.
That's up on the room somewhere. It's just like, yeah, he's not carrying around that.
Interesting. Perhaps she should receive that, but that it's not the entire bit. That for those who see the whole film, they see, as you say, someone else turning into me. The gang would love that.
I'm not sure what exactly the abilities of...
Oh no, the clan of Nosferatu can hide themselves in shadows, become invisible at will, and assume the guises of others. It is one of the little tricks of the blood. And even the really, really gifted ones can in fact mimic others. Tell me, have you met any of her allies as servants?
Oh, yes, I have met some of them.
There's a particular annoying little shit by the name of Mr. Locke. Have you met him?
Oh, he thought he was self-important. He thinks he is something.
Yes, a little terrier.
I'm going to go over to the ball. That's it.
Yep, continue.
I do know of him, and I hold absolutely no well thoughts towards that thing.
Well, in those sort of thing, it would sort of be fun for her to be the architect of her own undoing. Because I take it that you might like to see her just a little bit punished for her ignorance and arrogance.
Oh, so much so, which is why I came to the two of you.
Leave that with parts of it to us, and I am assure you that will be possible. After all, this city does have laws that must be kept. What do you say, Siobhan?
Do you really want to know?
Of course. I mean, we are both included in this conversation here. I'm certain that he would like to hear your opinion as well. And I most certainly would.
Well, for me, the characters of this play are of little importance as long as the target is hit. I don't care either way. That is my honest opinion.
And as long as it doesn't, I assume, transpire in certain venues.
Oh, no. That is the off-limit part I mentioned in the beginning of the meeting.
There's a little chuckle from the Autumn Knights.
And
I
for a
think
few
I am still
minutes-
expecting an apology from a certain sheriff, so no, I don't think this little thing is needed to happen here, anyway.
I do trust and hope that he will apologize for his rather abrupt behavior as soon as possible. Well,
Thank you, Christopher.
for a second, there's an internal monologue, Christopher. But if he kills Casta, what about Callisto? How will he get her to help you? And then he thinks, on the other hand, this might be the only way to gain access to the Queen's domain to do that which need be done, and surely she'll need someone to help her and look after her after he is dead. And if she really believes in him, won't he just be reborn in another body? He sits there pensive for a little while. You see a little flash of worry, a little flash of pensiveness, and then a little smile at the end.
That
Well-
little smile, yeah.
Well, this is interesting.
Well, there is the
Of course.
exhibition, right? There is always an opportunity to get some meetings set up there. I wouldn't imagine that being too difficult.
Ooh. And he just instantly thinks back to the little conversation he had with the Queen about that particular area. Yes, and I could sign a little decree tonight. Gifting that. Oh yes. Well, that is not such a stupid idea.
Are you
think
saying this
you're
out loud or thinking it?
No, he's thinking it, and he
Okay.
says like, no, that wouldn't be. But except for the last thing he said, well, that wouldn't be a stupid idea. That is a salad.
On that note, when he said that's not a stupid idea, I'm gonna stop you guys there.
That's not a stupid idea.
I know.
Oh, maybe it is!
Who knows?
Find out.
Find out. Tune in.
That.
I'm like,
I'm just gonna
oh,
sit here and bask in the delightfulness when people turn on the storyteller.
I feel you guys are scheming against me.
Plans.
I mean, the target that if Shiv was being honest, she would probably have picked Devinter as a target instead. But that's just me. Or her. That's her, not me. Not Marianne.
Yeah, I mean, Chris definitely is in two minds about killing Casta. Like, all the problems with getting Callista to help, which he really hopes can help. But on the other hand, it wouldn't solve all the problem that him coming to the city has caused. I mean, everyone hated when he was gone.
Little...
Yeah, everyone wanted him gone. Well, he's gone.
There's going to be murder.
The murder. But this is also, and I checked. Daniel is legit playing on a factual thing. I can't. I go with what my players do, which is correct. I said that. He's right.
I love the fact
and
that
I have to go
notice.
with it.
I love it.
Didn't notice. And now this is it, and this is what we're playing
Daniel,
with.
like high fives.
It was as soon as you said Faye, and I went in and I read, because Faye in all different settings are different, but I just went in and read how are they in this setting, and they're very bound by their spoken words. I'm like, okay, so
I can play with this.
Before we even sat down on the first one, I was like, I'm going to be vague as fuck when it comes to whatever I need to do.
And perfect, of course, the queen is so arrogant that she thought that her words were the important ones.
Yes.
Hence the storyteller was arrogant. But then again, when players get one up on me, I salute them, and I do not steamroll. I abide by the rules I give them, and I have to just eat this and see where it goes.
So do we.
Yeah, this was
it
very
puts you in a
different.
situation of fun as well, where you have no idea.
I have no goddamn idea. Like, I just want some murder, and I thought it would be a different murder, but I don't know what murder it is, and it's not going the way I thought it would go at all. But this
and
is.
You have to watch next episode to find out which way it goes.
This is role playing. So yeah. You just have to roll with it, literally. Again, guys, thank you so much for your actually comment, likes, and follows, and all the engagement is amazing. We so much appreciate it. And to my players, you bastards.
Comment down below who you would want the prince to murder.
Who should he murder? Who should he murder?
The prince? No.
Everyone. Prince is not going to murder anyone. The prince is merely going to.
No, I need the prince for later.
Then...
I need him for later.
Need him for later. Snap. All right. Well, until next time, stay safe and take care of one another. And yeah, on that note, bye.